Hey guys, so I just finished interviewing Lacey Craig on the third episode of 50 Shades of Truth. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely be sure to check it out. I posted it below inside of this group. You can also head over to the YouTube channel. It's Lexi D'Angelo's YouTube channel. And you can check out the goods there. But I just had a great talk with her. And as this was going on, I had this idea of doing like an after the shades or behind the shades, like a after party type of video after each of the episodes that I do for the 50 Shades of Truth series. And so I would love to know if this is something that you would be interested in me doing, and I can share a little bit about my thoughts behind this. But in the episode, I usually am interviewing somebody else, and that's fun and I love it, and I want to share other people's stories and truths with you. But I was also thinking about taking a nugget of something that they said and then coming in here for only those of you who are inside of this group. So it's kind of like the after party, the VIP pass, where we kind of jam together about something that happened inside of that episode. So if this is something you're interested in, let me know. Tap on the screen, give me some hearts. If you would like it to be directly after these episodes air, let me know, or a different day, let me know that too. I'm all ears. I really want to provide a lot of value and also start conversation and get you guys thinking and really feeling into what you want for your business. So would love to hear your thoughts around that. But I'm just gonna do a little bit of a riff, and these are gonna be pretty quick unless people are commenting. I know it's like a Friday afternoon, so not the best time, but I figured why not? I'm here, so let's do it anyway. So one thing that Lacey said that I think can be like really controversial for some people is about credit cards. So she was saying how she will never, ever, ever ask somebody to, thank you for the hearts, she'll never ask somebody or suggest that they put it on a credit card in the sales process, and that to her feels super icky and sleazy and slimy. And so I'm curious for you guys, like, how do you feel about it when you are in the sales process, both as coach and as client, when somebody does suggest that to you? Because I personally was resonating with a lot of things she said, and I totally understand her perspective. And I hate when somebody is like, oh yeah, just, put on a credit card, give me your money. And it's just like, I don't know, super transactional about it. But sometimes I think people don't know about the options available to them. And so she was saying, like, these are humans, like, they're intelligent, they know they can put it on a credit card. And I agree, but I also have had situations where clients have felt like they didn't have the money to work with me, and they really, really wanted to. And if you've ever been on a sales conversation with me, I think you know that I'm not like pushy or salesy or sleazy, but she genuinely wanted to explore different ways. And so I like to get creative with clients around this. I also like for them to source how they find the money. So what I will typically do is I will first ask permission. So I don't believe in being like, hey, do this, or telling anybody what to do, because I do believe that at the end of the day, we know what's best for us. But I will say, like, okay, hey, do I have your permission to explore ways that we can find the money? And they're like, yeah. And then I make it super clear, like, hey, just because we are going to find or explore ways that you can create the money, or ways that, or situations where you might already have the money, it does not mean that you need to use this for my coaching, like, at all. I want to be super clear about this. This exercise is to help you in this situation, if that's how you choose to spend it, or in another area of your life. So they're like, yeah, cool, great, whatever. So then what I like to do is and the reason I'm sharing this with you is because sometimes I think it's helpful to hear certain people's processes and feel into like, oh yeah, that feels good, I'd like to try that, or nope, that really doesn't feel good to me. So Kristen says, I think it depends on the client. I 100% agree. Just saying put it on a credit card makes me feel icky. Yeah, totally. So I then like to say, okay, cool. So has there ever been a time in your life when you have thought like, shit, I really want to do this thing or experience this thing or buy this thing, but I don't have the money, or at least I don't think I have the money. But then you figured out a way to do it or experience it. And what was that time? Can you share like that experience? And maybe they're like, oh yeah, like actually like this one time I really wanted to go on this trip and I didn't think I had the money, but I asked my husband to like lend me some money at the time, or I actually was able to dip into my savings account to do it, or whatever it is. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Is this something where you think that you could do the same thing in this situation? Would that feel good for you? Would that not feel good for you? And it's like, no, that doesn't really feel good. It's like, okay, cool. What are 3 ways that you can think of that you could create the money? And I give them permission to be super creative. So even if it feels like this is like a crazy idea or it's unrealistic, I like to push people to think about, like, think outside of the box, because that's when I think we can get creative and we're way more resourceful than we give ourselves credit for a lot of the times. So then if they, for whatever reason, cannot think about ways to source it on their own, then, hold on, let me read this first. Kristen says, I love your strategy because I never would have, quote unquote, found the moolah to work with you if you didn't help me explore all options. Yes, thank you. Okay, I love that. So here's a client right now who we've had this conversation about, and we did explore the options, but didn't feel icky. And she is amazing and has gotten some incredible results. I'm so proud of her. And that might not have been possible. So here's the other thing too, is when I know I can help somebody and I want to help them explore the ways to find the money, not because I'm like, oh, I need to make all this money, but it's because I really truly believe in them and know that they can create a huge impact and income for themselves, and they can get everything they desire if they were able to have the support inside of one of my programs. So it makes me sad to see somebody not be able to move forwards and create the life and business they truly desire. So it's really about empowering people at the end of the day, in my mind. So then what I do is I'm like, okay, you can't think of any ways like on your own, like let me help you. Is that cool? They're like, yep. So then I might be like, all right, so like how are your feelings about credit cards? Kristen says, and I totally got that vibe from you. It was all about support and not the money. Yes, definitely. It's been so good supporting you. But then I might say, okay, like, so how do you feel about credit cards? Are you open to like exploring this? Erica says, Lexi is one of the chillest people when it comes to selling, no high pressure whatsoever. Thank you. Yes, another fucking awesome client. But I'm not, because I've been on that other side and it feels fucking terrible. And I don't ever want anyone to feel that way. But I want them to know that they have options and there's ways to explore it. So then I might suggest that. And so then we could explore what that looks like. And I'm not going to take you into like the whole basically process that I do for exploring, but I give out all these suggestions and all these ideas so they can make a decision for themselves. And one thing that I suggested in the past to somebody who has worked with me for, I think like over a year, I can't even remember now, but has like re-signed up with me multiple times, I suggested her 401k. She like tapping into that. We were exploring that. I wasn't saying like, you have to go into there and you have to pay me your money. Like, not at all. But she was like, wait, what? I can do that? And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, see what's inside. Like, and then you can make a decision from there. And I just remember her mind being blown. And afterwards, she was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for like taking the time to go through all this with me. I had no idea this was even possible. Like, I actually have way more money than I even thought. And like, yes, I can absolutely afford this with like more to spend and da 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 da. So it just, to me, is about empowering people, showing them that they do have options, helping them get creative, and letting them know that if they do want to do this and they do find the money or a way to create the money, they totally can. Or they can leave it and they can use these techniques and these tactics for something else that they desire. So that was something that I found really interesting inside of our conversation, because I don't have the same viewpoint on it. Not that my viewpoint is right and hers is wrong, or hers is right and mine is wrong, none at all. And that's the point of the series too, of 50 Shades of Truth. It's my truth. It's Lacey's truth. It's Jess's truth. It's, you know, whoever the guest truth who is on the show. And it's showing and exposing that we all have these different ways of doing things, and there is no one right or wrong way, because I do think that, unfortunately, while, you know, this can be a really supportive and incredible industry to be a part of, there can also be a lot of shaming. Like, you do it this way, you're wrong. You do it this way, that's bad. Like, who are you? Judge, judge, judge. And that fucking sucks. And so I like to, as much as possible, be really open to all the different ways of doing things. And that's why when I work with my clients too, if I suggest a way, like, I will always suggest the way that I do things, or things have worked for me in the past or other clients, because they are coming to me for strategy. But if it doesn't feel good, or if they have a way of doing things that this is a hard no and this is like a yes, I need to do this, we work together to make sure that we create something that feels really good and in alignment for them. So I just want you to know that, again, there is no right or wrong way to the sales process or anything like that. And if you do explore putting things on a credit card with a client, like, it's not a bad thing. And if you do want to refrain from even having that conversation, then guess what? You get to. You don't ever have to tell somebody that. You don't ever have to explore that if that doesn't feel comfortable for you. And so in that episode, we were actually talking about a few other things that Lacey has experienced in terms of, like, things that just felt ick but might have been standard in the industry, and how she created her own rules around it. So definitely go check it out. Like I said, the replay is posted in the group. And I also would love to hear if you guys like these after the show episodes, on hearing my take on how I do things, and just being able to start discussion around this. And of course, I would love for it to be more of a discussion and less of me actually talking to you. So and I know some of you were sharing, so thank you so much for doing so. But for those of you who are watching this replay, I would love to hear your thoughts about this too. And please note, this is a safe space for you to share. And for everybody else who is engaging in this, that just because somebody else's opinion is not the same as your own, let's just be really open to what people have to say, and just, you know, try on somebody else's perspective and see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel good with you, great. Know that that's not your way. But I think that having more compassion and love and less judgment is totally needed inside of the industry. And there are a lot of people who are already doing that with so much love and compassion, and that's great. But I'm here to, you know, invoke even more of it. Kristen says, I love this. I haven't watched the episode yet, but now I'm more excited for it. Yay! Yes, and we have some really incredible guests coming up. Let me just check my schedule and see, like, who is booked for now. Next week we have Jordan Gill, who's so amazing with, like, systems and processes, and she's just a total boss. I love her. So, like, again, like, while she might be in, like, the systems category, like someone like Chrissy, who I interviewed recently, she is more in, like, the woo and the flow, and that's okay. They both work, and they get to create success on their own terms, which is so cool. All right. Then who else do I have? And then the next person after that is Amanda Bond. She is a total whiz with Facebook ads and strategy. She's incredible. Another person who I have coming up is Amanda Francis, who is really this, I think she calls herself like this spiritual boss lady. And there are a few other people who will be after that who we're talking to. We're just trying to schedule it. So lots of people to look forward to, but I would love to also hear who you would love to hear from. Who would you love to see lovingly exposed in the industry? What do you want to learn about them or their business? Because I'm really doing this show for you guys, to show you what's possible, what's available, and to get real about things in the industry. So I would love to hear in the comments who you would love for me to interview and what you want to know about them, because I think that these episodes can get really juicy and interesting with your help and your input. And again, if you like this after the after party thing that we got going on here, let me know and I'll keep doing them. And that's all. I hope you guys have a great Friday and a fabulous weekend. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer anything about my process. And again, I would love to hear your opinions and how you do things. Okay, bye guys.